legally constituted meeting of the Town of Charlie Planning Board. Legal notice of this meeting has been posted in the East Charlie News and on the bulletin board in the front vestibule of the Town Hall. If you could please silence your cell phones or pagers and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. In the event of an emergency, please use the exits at the front and the rear of the room. We will proceed with the agenda in the order which was published, unless otherwise stated. When called, please proceed to the podium, state your name, and if you are representing an applicant, indicate the applicant's name. Review the details of the application. Planning board members and side table participants will address questions and concerns to the applicant or the representative. The public hearing portion of the meeting, anyone wishing to comment on the application will be heard. If you wish to speak, please wait to be recognized by the chairperson. Stand, state your name and address for the record. Please speak so all can hear your comments and address all comments and questions to the chairperson. I'll now introduce board members and the side table participants. To my far left is Joe DeFendis, Matt Emmons, Al Hellaby has been excused. I'm Mike Nyan, Glenn Hyde. Dave Cross has been excused, and our alternate Hans Lindenbovius will be in his place, Michael Leone. Our side table, our town engineer, Michael Hanscom, our building department manager, Paul Rosenraid, and our planning board counsel is Matthew Piston. Our recording secretary tonight is Sandra Hewlett. Application. Actually, the two applications are here once, and then we'll vote separately on them. It's the application of Bell Atlantic Mobile Systems LLC, DBA Verizon, 1275 John Street, Suite 100, West Henrietta, New York, 14586. The applicant, South Point Landing LLC, 1890 South Lincoln Road, Suite 100, Rochester, New York, 14618. The owner for a preliminary site plan approval to allow rooftop wireless telecommunication existing building and property located at 1200 C Scottsville Road, General Business District. Also, the same applicant and owner has applied for a special use permit to allow rooftop wireless telecommunication on an existing building property located at 1200 C Scottsville Road in the JP District.
Good evening, members of the Planning Board. My name is Jared Lusk with Nixon Peabody, representing Verizon Wireless Verizon's real estate consultant, and Drew Curran, brand new law student, graduate observing a few meetings and attending, so he's brought him out of the snake pit at the Childline Planning Board. So good evening. I know there's a lot of information in our application that went before you as required by your code. We submitted on October 2nd, 2025. Our application, as the chairman indicated, the project is to be located on the of the existing building located at 1200 C Scottsville Road. Verizon has a hole in its network reliability problem that is best cured by co-locating a new wireless telecommunications facility on the roof. As most wireless telecommunications codes, the town of Childline prefers co-location, so an opportunity to place this installation on the roof of an existing building is preference to building a new cell tower. I've been before you on a number of cell towers co-locating an existing tower. This happens to be a site that there isn't a tower in the immediate vicinity, and we're able to co-locate on the roof of the existing facility. The need for the facility is outlined in tab F of the application. You've seen those submissions before. You understand the RF plots and the need for the project. There were a number of sites that are currently serving the area. Again, all that are particularly overloaded. And again, that's well documented in tab F. There's a number of graphs, usage graphs that are outlined there, and those surrounding sites are in each instance operating capacity. The search area for the project is located on page 11 of the application. You can see the general vicinity, and that's referring you to that. That's the search area. And again, if you look on page 12, it sort of identifies the serving area. It's not a coincidence from our design perspective that the three serving areas, the purple, the green, and the red, this proposed G of the application talks about why we chose this site. Again, our first goal is to try to find a town, municipally owned piece of property so that the taxpayers of the town can generally obtain the rent revenue right as opposed to a private property owner. There are no town sites in the immediate vicinity of this project, and that would not require a new tower, but there aren't any in this area. And again, so that we went to co-location. Again, looked at the Genesee Valley golf course. That's obviously municipally owned property by the city of Rochester. Again, we checked with the city, and it was determined that because of, as you may know, because it's a municipal park, that was not going to be available. And again, there were discussions with the Monroe County Public Training Facility, and anybody that knows anything about that site is very tight in terms of usage and things. And I do know that there are environmental issues with that particular site, given all that's happened on that site over the years. So again, from an overall developability perspective, having to build the tower, the co-location was identified as being the best opportunity here. Does anybody have the reason why obviously your code requires a special use permit and site plan approval? The project, again, pretty simple. We're on the roof of the existing building. The tallest part of the project itself is the building as it stands is 58.67 feet. We are proposing to install these antennas on antenna mounts, the typical antenna rooftop sleds on the top of the tower. Again, that will extend just to the overall height of 67 feet. So it's adding about 9 feet total height to the building, staying the same. These are just for additional installations onto the roof of the building. Pretty straightforward. Everything's on the roof inside the building. I know there were a series of engineering comments that we provided responses to on November 12th. And we did provide, as the engineer indicated, Mr. Hanscom, that we did request the height variance with our original application, and so that is, I believe, our next stop. He asked for an updated RF compliance evaluation report. We did again provide that, as well as an additional revision to the EAF, an updated structural. All that information was provided. The one issue that we sort of responded to that Mr. Hanscom requested is he wanted to talk about the maintenance, etc., and an estimate to maintain the property. I think if you saw my response to that, these are unmanned facilities that can go on the roof, stand on the roof, installed on the roof. We don't ever need to go back up and do any maintenance that you would have road or the snow plowing or anything on the tower. If there's a problem, we'll welcome fix it, but it's no different than any utility installation along the highway utility that the installations go on the structure, unless until they're inanimate, they don't move. Unless something blows with the wind, we won't know, and we'll send up a technician. But there's no anticipated routine maintenance per se that would warrant a bond to have to fund. Verizon takes care of it like any other installation. So at least in this instance, we don't believe that a bond for maintenance is necessary, because we don't even know what maintenance to bond for. So I mean, if the board has any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Joe? No questions at this time? You were able to answer all of those questions with the one. Is there a dispute going on with the town, or has the town agreed that that is not necessary? Has that been discussed at all? Or is this the
I
first
submitted
time?
it, did respond. I received my response, and haven't heard anything in response.
Okay. You're all set. Did you say, Paul?
I'm okay with it.
Okay. And you did receive the appropriate report. You're separate from that. Okay. Very good. And you're going to get the variances you have applied for the height.
Yeah, yes.
I'm good.
Yes, I did. At this time, I'll open the public hearing on this application. Any comments from the audience? Seeing none, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing portion of this application. Second. Yes. Yes. I also vote yes. Any further discussion on this application? Any other questions? The seeker? Okay. I'll make a motion to declare the board lead agency as far as seeker is based on evidence and information presented at this meeting. The term of the application be unestablished with no significant environmental impact. Do I have a second?
Second.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I also vote yes. As far as conditions, I think you requested the conditions to be the same for both applications, the special use permit as well as the site plan, is that correct? Did I read that in the letter correctly? That's what I thought I read in the letter, that the conditions would apply to the same both, so that wasn't a request. No, I did not. Flower pots on the,
Exactly. We would ask for an exception to the landscape requirement, given it's a parking lot for the building, this building. Not sure what we would install for landscaping on the roof of the building.
the anything so. And that's a requirement.
Again, I'll discuss that with the client. It just doesn't seem like it should be applicable to this. Maybe we can amend the variance with the ZBA. It seems like it's unnecessary hardship. So
I think at this point we need to include it as a condition, just for the
that's fine. That's fine.
So for conditions, I have, open applications approval is subject to final approval of the town engineer and the commissioner of public works. Town engineer and the commissioner of public works must be given copies of any correspondence with other approving agencies. Applicant to comply with all pertinent Monroe County Development Review Committee comments. Applicant to comply with all required life safety conditions and permits from the town fire marshal. Obtain approval of the zoning board of appeals for all required variances. Applicant to comply with all conditions of the zoning board of appeals that are applicable. Include landscaping, the applicant to make a donation of the town's tree planting fund in the amount equal to 1% of the total project cost. Building permit shall be issued prior to the applicant complying with all conditions. Application is subject to all required permits, inspections, and code compliance regulations. Any other conditions with these approvals? The first application with those conditions, the application of Atlantic Mobile Systems LLC, DBA Verizon, 1275 John Street, Suite 100, West Henrietta, New York, 14586, applicant, South Point Landing LLC, 1890 South Point Road, Suite 100, Rochester, New York, 14618, owner, for a preliminary site approval to allow rooftop wireless telecommunications on an existing building at the property located at 1200C Scottsville Road in the JB District. Do I have a second?
Second.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I also vote yes. Application of the Bell Atlantic Mobile Systems LLC, DBA Verizon, 1275 John Street, Suite 100, West Henrietta, New York, 14586, applicant, South Point Landing LLC, 890 South Point Road, Suite 100, Rochester, New York, 14618, the owner, for a special use permit to allow rooftop wireless telecommunications on an existing building at the property located at 1200C Scottsville Road in the JB District.
Mike, did you do seeker for the second application or just the first?
We did it for both, on the same building. Do I have a second?
Second.
Yes.
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 I also vote yes, this is approved.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Next item is the application of Broadway Group, Trey Lewis, 216 West Side Square, Huntsville, Alabama, 35801. The applicant, West Sunset Development LLC, Lou Bavone, 55 Alliance Drive, Rochester, New York, 14623 owner, for preliminary site plan approval to construct a 10,566 square foot retail store, property located at 4400 Buffalo Road in the General Business District.
Good evening, I'm Mike Montalto of Costa Engineering. This evening is Trey Lewis from the Broadway Group, here for preliminary site plan approval for redevelopment of a portion of 4400 Buffalo Road. Broadway Group is under contract for purchase of approximately 1.2 acres, a lot which was subdivided out of the original 3.3 acre parcel located at 4400 Buffalo Road for the development of a 10,500 square foot retail facility. And it is a redevelopment of the parcel. The property is zoned general business. Primarily, the site plan as prepared meets the bulk area requirements, with the exception of parking spaces and loading berth, providing 33 parking spaces where code requires 53, and we're not proposing currently a formal attached loading berth building. I'll get into that a little bit more in a moment. We are scheduled to appear November 25th, zoning board of appeals for variances for those two items, as they relate to the bulk area requirements for the property. Facility, the retail facility is to be a Dollar General. It operates 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. With 2 to 3 employees, one delivery truck weekly, typically a low parking generator, hence request to provide 33 parking spaces a week. Provided by code, this is based on hundreds, if not thousands of stores throughout the United States where they keep data regarding what their true parking demand is. They provide parking within the 30 parking space range. Also supported by the ITE parking generation calculations for that type of facility, where their numbers typically indicate that 25 parking spaces in December months is a maximum for that type of facility, with averages running roughly 23 or 21 parking spaces the rest of the year. The facility was primarily a low traffic generator as well, 26 AM peak trip runs, 52 trip generations in PM peak. We are eliminating one curb cut on Buffalo Road and upgrading to a single larger access way on the eastern portion of the property. There will be an ingress egress easement granted west for future development opportunities for the property owner for that. There's not a plan for that at this point in time. Landscaping has been provided in accordance with the town code for requirements of 1% of the construction cost. The original appeared before the Conservation Board at their November 3rd meeting. Received some comments from them to wanting to have some planters and additional landscaping at the front of the building. We went back and looked at that in lieu of planters on the sidewalk, especially this time. We're proposing to move the building 3 feet to the north so we can actually put a full planting bed. There's also some additional follow-up correspondence regarding that has occurred relative to replacing some of the hardwood trees that were being removed in order to construct the stormwater management facility and to provide additional screening to the west since that parcel has not been developed yet. There was a request some ornamental trees and move ground plantings on the western side of the building. We felt that they offered more screening above that side of the facade up. Believe that based on some correspondence that we received earlier today, that they're in agreement to that. They requested that we add one more ornamental tree to the western side of the lot line. We're agreeable to that portion of things. We've increased the landscaping cost from approximately $7,400, construction cost of roughly $730. So we almost doubled the excess of 1% of the cost. We apologize, we did not have an opportunity to respond formally to town engineer comments. That was an error in terms of the email addressing which they went to Colleen and to the company who's work. Recently received and reviewed them, primarily technical in nature. Mr. Hanson in the past, we have no exception to the comments that were generated. More specifically, there was some stormwater approach questions that were raised in terms of extending the filter strip and bioretention areas on the eastern portion of the property. General plan cleanup relative to generic questions that were asked from town engineers. Again, this is something we're only here for preliminary. We have to obtain the zoning board, and they're still working with the architect relative to architectural elevations for the building. Building elevations have been modified. As in the original packet submitted, was originally submitted was primarily the prototype drawings for this type of building, which had stone water table, tan color at the bottom, vertical cement board, with the new Dollar General signage versus the large yellow black / brown Dollar General lettering, to adding some additional embellishments to the face of the building to have awnings and some shutters to put fake windows on the front. We're still working with the architect to refine that, and still need to appear before the ARB to present those elevations before we come back for plans. We didn't see any roadblocks to the engineering comments that were generated. Formal responses and updated plans to address any comments that was raised with relative to plans that were submitted. We did talk with Dave Lindsay this morning regarding the storm sewer system in the northern portion, and neither the town nor ourselves have been able to find evidence of an easement for the storm sewer line. We're agreeable to granting that easement and showing that on the plans as well as the at this point, I'd like to, I guess, conclude my formal presentation and turn it over to questions.
So happy to hear about the elevations. So you're gonna have those for AAC next month or next time you come back?
Yes.
Yeah, cause I saw the metal stuff and I just did a quick Google search. I know I've seen other Dollar Generals that look a lot more appealing, and so I'm excited to hear that and see those when you get those done. And just back to the variances, I just want to make sure I'm not confused here. You are going to ask for a variance on the parking, or you're going, what are the variances that you apply?
Yeah, we're requesting a variance to allow 33 parking spaces where the town code requires 53, and we're requesting relief from the full board. So we're on the zoning board of appeals, requirements we have, for our sites, it didn't seem prudent to turn around to overdevelop, it's additional impervious surface, it's just not needed for the operations. If in the future, the building was to sell, 20 years from now, the building sells, or provided the code's the same, there's room on the property for that, for an additional row of parking down the district. When we first met the town staff for the application, we showed those and we discussed whether or not to bank them or whether to seek an area variance, and we just felt it was more prudent for our operation to seek a variance. We have the room,
That's why I was asking.
it could be done, but, again, building the site for that, when we have no need for them, this is not a condition of where, if it becomes more popular, we need them. We've got so much evidence from all the facilities that they operate today that 30 parking spaces don't typically make it. So we're comfortable with
How about the truck traffic and deliveries? I see it's an outdoor grade dock with a small ramp, so is it lift gate trucks?
Yeah, and the deliveries are only once a week, so again, it didn't make any, it doesn't from an operational standpoint. From the way they operate, it seems to be, again, alternate driveway width to, town engineer's comments, 35 by paper, it's just additional impervious surface area, not even.
So it's one truck a week from Dollar General warehouse somewhere regionally.
Yeah,
They can schedule their own deliveries.
those operations, and if you look at the turning movements, we've set it up for WB 67, full-size tractor trailer. We've got a site that, is constrained, requests smaller deliveries. This site works with a full-size tractor trailer without it impeding the operations. And if you look at parking fields, truck delivery doesn't impede the store's operation. So again, it's from an operational standpoint where they found in all their operations that it's not necessary. So we're seeking variance for that.
The dumpster enclosure detail probably would need to be updated when you finish the architectural design.
And there's construction detail questions.
Yeah, okay.
We have to take that from some of the more generic Dollar General detail to the site specifically.
That's all I got right now, thanks.
You know the original town, correct? When, Charlie Center. What's that size of that store relative to this store? Yes. Charlie Plaza or Charlie Square. You don't know, right? It's the same one. Relative to the parking spots, you indicated they had plenty of room on the east driveway. So, I want you to show where they would fit relative to the property, so you can show that you landed, you have to develop parking spots. We want to show them on the plan to show that they fit, which they are needed in the future. With,
In the past, I believe the town engineer requested not only to show you, but we have to demonstrate the whole design. That's kind of a burden. I can clearly show that I can put almost 19 more parking spaces. That would require the stormwater to be pumped. That's a pretty big burden. And I guess I'm paraphrasing. I'm only going from past experience where we've gotten comments that says when we put banked parking on the plans, that we have to demonstrate that from the design standpoint, it's fully viable. So I don't have a
That was-
problem showing them, but I guess I want clarification, as to how far that would be with the different stormwater management. Provide stormwater to the bank parking.
Correct, if he gets a variance, it goes in with the property, so if this ever changes hands, and it's a store that does need more parking spots, we have nowhere to put it. We can't show that it'll fit anywhere else.
They'd have to come back in for a change of occupancy or change of use almost.
Another retail store, similar to this one. It wouldn't be a site plan approval, they would just be changing their occupancy. They wouldn't have enough parking, they wouldn't need to put in the parking, because that goes in the land.
But they would have the variance then.
Correct.
So the variance goes with them.
That's my point. It goes in perpetuity with the land,
So
so.
that's something the zoning board is gonna have to take into account when making a decision on granting the variance or not.
I think we should take into consideration for the site plan as well.
I have no problem demonstrating the bank parking between council, zoning board, and any ultimately if we approach approval resolutions, that there would need to be some, the burden of what that change in stormwater design will be. And parking would be on the future owner of that facility. That's
Correct. But we couldn't make the additional parking in there. That's why I asked that question. Where would it be? It sounds like you'd have to redo the entire stormwater management facility as well as the fire retention.
I guess that would be and again, maybe I'm finding things too far because of previous experiences. Taking it beyond just showing 19 parking spaces. Showing the 19 parking spaces is fine. I know we've gotten comments back on other projects before. Had to take it further than showing 19 parking spaces. We have to demonstrate this for and that's a different stormwater management. Grading and all that. And I have to ask what's the point in this?
So I guess that will then be up to the zoning board to review that to determine that will go with the property. So if somebody else came in and they needed more parking, we would be able to force it. That was the point I just wanted to bring up at this point. No variance. So the point is this, is if you get the variance, then no, you have to show the land bank parking because it doesn't make.
Excuse me, if the ownership changed hands or a more intensive use within the GB permitted uses was to come in and that required more parking, it would be incumbent upon town staff to assess that through a letter of intent and guide them to, if they were granted the variance, then they would have to amend the variance, or if they needed the extra parking, they would have to come back for a revised site plan to allow for that, which it would be incumbent upon that applicant at that time then to provide a revised stormwater plan and new parking arrangement.
But we couldn't force them to do that because they had the variance. once the variance is granted, this is all
That's true.
parking it this way.
Once the variance is granted, right.
So none of that would.
But the variance only allows them to go beneath the minimum. It allows them 33 spaces. If the new use mandates 53, then they can put in 53, right? No, they're not.
That's what I wanted to clear. It would not be, once that variance is granted, they would never need to put in more than the space that's on this spot right now.
That's correct.
That's an important note to make.
And we don't,
Easter, you-
fundamentally, we don't have a huge issue with it, demonstrating that it can be done. And parking is allowed the town to say, hey, you're parking on the grass, whatever, you now need to put parking.
Crossing that you talked about was on the east side where the parking lot really ends to the next parcel.
To allow them to use the newly constructed, access on Buffalo Road, access there.
Any other questions?
I'm good.
No questions? Nothing? I'll open the public hearing. Anybody in the audience wishing to comment? Yes, ma'am. What was the second variance for? Oh, the birth rate, correct. Thank you. Thank you. It's for a truck loading berth, which is basically a loading dock. Truck will back into the unload. Would you mind just pointing that out on your diagram over there for us? Thank you. No, it has not to do with the size and the traffic of this building. It would not require us to generate that. Sure. Yeah, just provide us your name and address.
Trey Lewis, Broadway
this particular, lot, they did submit a landscape plan for conservation board, which has reviewed it and made recommendations. And they've worked out a plan where they will be providing hardwood trees, I believe 5 was it called? Sorry, you know today? 4 hardwoods. 2 on the eastern side, 2 on the north to replace the hardwood trees that are being removed in order to construct the stormwater management facilities. 5 ornamental trees down the west of the So we did meet with the conservation board, there was concern regarding, not concern, there was a request to replace the hardwoods that are being lost with tree species that would be similar to woods. So we are doing that, and we're well over the first. We're at 13,000 instead of 75. We didn't focus on, here's the minimum, here's the polished landscape plan based on conservation. Thank you. Dollar General is not destination facilities. They serve immediate communities. That's why they're 10,000 square foot buildings or whatever. They serve immediate area. When Dollar General looks at putting facilities up, they study the demographics, where they're putting them, because they're not trying to kill even their own stores. And they're not destination. It's not Chick-fil-A where you're gonna drive across town. Dollar General, in the area, they're gonna use it, not use it. So they're aware of that. They look at all that before they even come to either one of us and say, hey, let's look at this facility. The first thing they start off by doing is looking at the forma and the statistics to say, okay, we want, there's a need or a desire to have storage in this general area. And so we don't want to go in and not have it. Thank you. Any other questions? They did specify the need, or they wouldn't have made this application. This is kind of, I don't think that's proprietary information. We don't have it. I don't know if they do or not. We wouldn't be making the application. This is the engineering firm that's developing this, not the Dollar General store. It's showing that they want to build a store here for a good reason. Dollar General comes to the Broadway Group. Broadway Group represents Dollar General. Right. They develop it on behalf of Dollar General didn't want this store. And we hadn't looked at that in the first place. We went out there. So, thank you. Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Just want to leave the public hearing open, and you'll be back for final after you go through the zoning board appeals, correct? Okay, so I'll leave the public hearing portion open. We've also, we did turn this into ship out, we did get the no effect letter. Yeah, the letter is in the package, I saw that. Oh, wouldn't there be a new public hearing for final? We have a new public hearing for final, for approval, preliminary tonight, we have to do secret and close the public hearing. Public hearing. Okay. That was my question. Okay, very good. In that case, I will make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. I also vote yes. Any questions relative to all the documentation? received the seeker. Any other discussion about the there still is a lot that needs to be done here. Almost 10 pages of engineering comments. We haven't had an opportunity to respond to those, but, so tonight you're just gonna seek preliminary. And then, when you get back to final. So who's next? So we can get formal responses and revise the plans back to the town. And you'll be giving us revised plans relative to that space you're gonna create in the front for landscaping, is that right?
Yes. Yeah, we've already revised that, but I do not want to show up at a meeting. Provide for conservation.
As far as seeker goes, then I'll make a motion to declare the board lead agency, and based on evidence and information presented at this meeting, declare the application to be a homestead action. No significant environmental impacts. Do I have a second?
Second.
Yes.
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 I also vote yes. Conditions. Additional ones. Approval is subject to final approval by the town engineer and the commissioner of public works. Town engineer and the commissioner of public works must be given copies of any correspondence with other approving agencies. Copies of all easements associated with this project shall be provided to the assistant town council for approval, and all filing information, ID, library page number, shall be noted on the filers. Prior to the issuance of a certificate of occupancy, all easements are to be filed and recorded with the Monroe County Clerk, and filed and recorded and acknowledged by the town of Charlotte. Applicant to comply with all pertinent Monroe County Development Review Committee comments. Applicant to comply with all required life safety conditions and permits. Town Fire Marshal. This is pending approval of the Zoning Board of Appeals of all required variances. Applicant to comply with all conditions of the Zoning Board of Appeals as applicable. Did you provide an updated drawing of you need to supply a landscape plan drawn by a licensed architect, along with the required checklist of the Conservation Board for review and recommendation, and if there's a new one, provide an updated one of them. I know there's been some changes. Planning Board, you'll be going to the Conservation or the AAC next month, correct? Sorry? AAC next month? Okay. So we'll need to wait to see what the AAC says relative to their recommendations before we can affirm that. Building permits shall not be issued prior to the applicant complying with all conditions. The application is subject to all required permits, inspections, and code compliance regulations. There's no outside storage allowed. And no outside sale of any items. And the property owner shall enter into a stormwater control facilities maintenance agreement with the town of Charlotte and provide proper access easement to the town. The access easement and the stormwater control facilities maintenance agreement will need to be reviewed and approved by the planning board attorney. Any other conditions? Approval for preliminary? No? Those conditions are the application of the Broadway Group with Terry Lewis, 216 West Side Square, Huntsville, Alabama, 35801 applicant. West Side Sunset Development LLC, Lou Bavona, 55 Alliance Drive, Rochester, New York, 14623 owner, for a preliminary site plan approval to construct a 10,566 square foot retail store, property located at 4400 Buffalo Road, General Business JV District. Second. Yes.
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 Yes. I also vote yes. We'll see you when you complete all your other requirements.
Thank you.
next application is, two applications, we'll hear them again together and then vote on them separately. 68 Golden Road, application of Marathon Engineering, Rafael Barreto, 39 Cascade Drive, Rochester, New York, 14614, the applicant. Philomenia Lipa Brescia, 68 Golden Road, Rochester, New York, 14624, owner. For preliminary subdivision approval, one lot into 3 lots, property located at 68 Golden Road in the R120 district. And the application of Marathon Engineering, Rafael Barreto, 39 Cascade Drive, Rochester, New York, 14614, applicant. Philomenia Lipke Brescia, 68 Golden Road, Rochester, New York, 14624, the owner. For preliminary site plan approval of 3 single-family home lots with shared driveway at the property located at 68 Golden Road in the R120 district. Good evening, gentlemen. I'm purchasing this 5 acres. Any, just say your name and address for the record.
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is James Perna. I reside at 26 Florentine Way, Rochester, New York.
Thank you. Go ahead.
I'm here tonight to try to get these 3 lots approved. They're 2 of them are almost 2 acres, and the other one is like almost an acre. We have all the utilities available at the property site, and it's going to be a private drive. So the houses will be similar to what I just put up over there.
The house that's under construction?
Yes, it's completed.
Okay. All right.
Like the $700,000 range, and
Okay. Have you seen the town engineer comments? And have
yes,
responded to
we
those?
answered them all.
You received all the responses, Mike?
I did receive something earlier today. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet.
Okay.
There's a couple things that the easement going in. We want to try to do all one easement out of it. Did he get a hold of it? He sent you this letter. Did you get it yesterday?
I did.
Okay. That's how we usually do them.
Well, I would request that you, one, he needs to provide a copy of the easement boundary description. And I'd ask that you provide a copy of the easement language to the attorney for his review.
Yes, yeah.
Before the board signs the plans.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that.
I find it a little difficult to understand how you got provided one single easement between all 3 properties. So it didn't make sense. That's why I'd like the attorney to review it.
I can't hear you very good. Can you speak to that myself? Can you hear me? I can't hear you very well. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I fail to understand myself how you can use a single easement between all the 3 properties for what you intend. That's why I'd like you to provide the easement language to the attorney for his review to make sure that it makes sense.
I understand that. What I'm saying is that that's usually the way we do it. I don't know if he's familiar with that. All the sanitary, the electrical, everything is all under one script, usually.
That's fine. I just want to make sure that he's comfortable with it.
Yeah, I agree with all that.
Okay.
Speechless. He's looking speechless.
I was always wondering what was going to happen with that piece of property, and I ending up with some of it. So I just, I think it's going to be really nice. It's, I want to try to. We didn't want to try to crowd everything in. The homeowner that's there now, he's got, I think 5 or 6 acres for himself. So this is going to be. It's going to look nice.
I knew you would, Joe.
Build your house over. It's perfect for you.
Go ahead.
I'm finding right now. Who's maintaining everything? In other words, is it a small homeowners association, paving?
But we're doing it all.
What?
When I do the private, we're going to do the private drive. And every house I build, I put my own driveways in with the house.
I understand that, but on the main road coming in,
Yeah.
the main driveway, who ends up?
The homeowners do, an agreement, it's in here, we have to get
Homeowners association?
homeowners agreement.
Okay.
It's not association, it's just a homeowners agreement. It'll be in their deed that they're all gonna share this cost of the 3 lots.
Okay.
It's called a shared driveway agreement.
Shared driveway, yeah.
Driveway. What's the technical term?
We used to do a lot of these years ago, like in Pines of Wildwood, there was a few of them, and it always worked out. On Ogden, they do tons of them. I mean, there's 30 lots on private, it's all private.
So no need for any variances?
Any need for what?
Variances?
I didn't,
Are you applying for any variances?
no,
Okay.
no, we got plenty of land.
Okay.
My head's all stuck, I can't hear it tonight.
Any other questions? No? Is the shared driveway agreement a requirement before the town, or is that something that needs to be conditioned? And do you need to review it?
Yeah, I don't think I
It's
need to
under
review it. I think it's going to be difficult to do that without the owners okaying it. So it's an agreement between the owners
Who don't exist?
that they will maintain the driveway and the costs associated with it, and it is a relatively common agreement.
Got it. Okay. I wasn't familiar with it.
And Mike, it's gonna be right in their deed, so it's like almost like a condominium project. Everybody has to share the cost of whatever incurs.
Right.
Resurfacing and sealing and all that, that's all their own responsibility.
Got it. Okay. So let me just check the rest of the questions here.
Right now, I think I got one family that's gonna build 3 houses, so I think it's gonna be all, one family owned.
Okay. I don't have any other questions at this time. Do you?
No questions.
Hans?
Nothing. I have nothing.
Any other questions from the side table? Comments? This time I'll open the public hearing. Anybody wishing to comment? Yes.
Fred Trot, 101 Golden Road. I just have a question. He has filled the property substantially with fill, over, I'd say, 7-8 feet of fill. And I'm concerned about the water flow. Do you have a retention pond there? Because I'm concerned that this water is going to end up in my swamp.
Okay. I know, Mike, you did.
It's flowing that way. It's like,
Hang on a minute, Jimmy. Hang on a minute. Mike, you reviewed the water flow in that, didn't you? Where the current drainage is for these properties? It can't flow off of their property onto another. Is that correct?
It's not supposed to, no.
Right.
I mean, if it already is, as long as they can't change the direction of flow.
Okay.
Right now, Mike, there's a main swale that goes through there,
Yep.
and it ends up down at your property. It probably doesn't even go where you are right now. It goes further down and around.
yeah, it's my property at the end of the round.
I know, but I don't think, what I'm saying for is that I don't think that water is all going your way, you know what I'm saying, dude? I think the water that's coming there now is going there already, put it that way. You know what I'm saying?
But you had a low table there.
Yeah.
Again, now you raise the table and you put in clay, that the water is just gonna flow right off and now go at a faster pace to my property. That's what I'm looking at.
But what I'm saying to you is, right now, the way that's just mounted up in there, that's not gonna be like that anyway. I don't think we're gonna end up with like 4 or 5 feet at the very most. You know what I'm saying? That dirt's gonna go back. You know, so we're not changing the grades very much at all. It's just right where that hole is, right in the front of the road, that was a big hole there. There was nothing to do about that.
Did he provide an existing?
There was,
So, Jim-
that whole property,
So hang on. Yeah. So Jimmy,
yeah, I don't mean to.
you filled in a great deal of area, and then there's a swale
Right,
that goes under the road.
right.
So all those 3 properties are going to drain into that swale. Is that
Right.
correct? Where does that swale go?
It goes
Under the road.
under the road, through what is that, only 40 acres that the guy owns there? It goes into the 40 acres across the street,
Okay.
and then it ends up down to the expressway.
Got it, okay. All right, I think I
So,
understand what
I
you're
mean,
saying.
it's.
Hang on a minute, Jimmy. Go ahead and speak. Jimmy,
What he's trying to say
Jimmy.
is, it's approximately 4 foot on the other side of where he's developing. It is a 4 foot wide drainage ditch that will normally, because of the lay of the land,
Right.
because it's all low land,
Right.
it slowly works its way back to AKA swampland that's there, and which is also 2 acres of my swampland. So it has room to absorb into the ground. He's raised the property, he's raised the ground level on his property
correct.
7-8 feet. So now that water now is coming through at a faster pace. So now it has a momentum to loop. It's not being absorbed on his property. It's now going to be absorbed on my property and 60, whatever the other property is, the 2 of us.
So is the back of your property, is that where the cattails are, or is that the
Yeah.
other property?
Yeah.
That's part of your property as well? Okay, all
I
right.
remember when that property was all dry as a
Right.
bone, when it used to burn.
Yeah,
But
then
then,
we used
they
to
let
learn.
him, I remember.
And it stops there because of the expressway. I mean, we can sit there and blame.
And then the expressway is the major cause of it, but
All right,
they used to be all, you know.
we're gonna need to, because I think it's the same owner. Yeah, he's. Paul? Is
No,
it, is it,
sold.
what? Is the same owner
No,
that they're doing these 3 lots on across the street, or no?
no.
Okay. So can we, you're looking at it now. I was gonna ask you to look at the
I mean,
drainage, but I think you're looking,
Fred,
you're looking at the drainage now where the ditch goes?
No. Those
Jimmy,
lots.
Jimmy,
Yeah.
hang on a minute.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So Fred, that is something we'll look at to see where that drainage ditch goes onto that other piece of property and onto your property.
So I had thought that whenever you did any kind of development, you had to have retention. It's not
Well-
required in this situation, or?
That'd be for our town engineer, but it depends on the size of the development. So,
We speak to.
hang on one second, they're checking the,
Can I answer one thing real quick?
sure.
Fred, those backyards are gonna be all walk-ins. All the backyards of those houses are all gonna be walk-ins. So basically, the right side is what I'm throwing to the lot line, and then where the pad is, then it's gonna drop down, it's gonna be all walk-ins. It's not gonna be thrown all the way through.
Flowing this,
And it's, I know what you're saying. But once the grass and stuff back there, then you're not gonna have a problem. I mean, that's worse than what you got now.
can I participate?
I'm told for it. It's only 3 houses.
I realize it's only 3 houses, but I'm saying you raised that table up 7 feet.
No,
All right,
it's not
Jimmy.
gonna be 7 feet.
Okay, all right. Time out, all right?
All right.
Our engineer will look at it, he can do
Okay, yeah.
calculations on how much water it'll be, and then we'll know exactly what it is. Can't probably do it tonight, but, go ahead, Paul.
The long and short of it is, there's 3 lots. 2 lots to the east. That water, according to the engineering plans, flows towards the northeast. It is still flowing towards the northeast. The proposed grading has it going that way. The lot to the west that borders the road, in the existing grades flow towards the road culvert and go underneath. They'll still flow to the road culvert and go underneath. There is some, he's picking up some roof drainage, and that is being directed around into the west, going towards the west. This does not, there's certain thresholds with regards to a stormwater pond or any sort of stormwater feature management plan. It's my understanding that this does not exceed those thresholds. We're getting confirmation from the engineer to that effect. So that's why you don't see a stormwater pond or any sort of pond or pile retention or anything like that, okay? That answer everybody's question?
So it's still him adding the 7 feet of.
He hasn't, he's really not adding, according to the elevation numbers that I'm looking at, he's not adding He's not adjusting the height that much. He may be spreading it out, if you will, but he's not adjusting the height drastically from what's already there. The existing grade in one area is 572, and the house is at 572.2. That sort of thing, okay? That's what the plan is showing you. It may look that way differently in the field, Fred. I don't know, but I'm going by what the plans tell me,
Yeah.
and by Mike's telling me, so.
Okay. I just have a concern that instead of having 2.5 acres of swampland, now I got 3 acres of swampland, you know?
Right.
And I just want to make sure that that flow and potential owner of the other property across the street, if he develops and he fills that up, he
Right.
raises that table up, it's all going to flow to that swamp. And I'm just want to make sure that it flows at a common rate, or, you know,
Okay.
why isn't there a retention?
Okay.
So I had always understood that any kind of development, there had to be a retention pond, but I didn't know there was.
No, there's thresholds and that have to be met.
I want this.
You already took our water out for a day. You already took our water out for a day.
So based on your review of this, it won't increase the rate or the amount of water that flows onto the neighboring property across the street? Or do we need to look at this further?
Well,
Make any adjustments?
Paul says he's not required to do to put in a pond. He's not creating a substantial amount of impervious surface that's going to create a substantial increase in flow. Maybe it might be a minor amount. Paul said that it's an existing grassy field. It's not a forested area, so it's going to be lawn and probably a grassy field after this.
All right. And I also heard that the water is going to flow to the northeast off the back of the property line of the 2 lots. Is that correct? That'll be a low area?
Yes. So it currently, according to the existing grading plan, it currently flows in that direction, and they're not changing that. It's still flowing in that direction.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Any other questions? Go ahead.
Who confirms the grading plans after he's developed? Just curious.
Grading plans?
Yeah, you said that the way that he has it planned, that the grading is going to flow that way. Who confirms that this is actually at that grade and at those levels?
Do they,
You don't require
as-built,
do they do as-built for residential?
We do as-built surveys, but that's to make sure that the buildings are located to the property. I don't, to be honest with you, I don't think I've ever had as-built topography done. We look to make sure that, you know, it's sloped in this direction, it's sloped in that direction. So, I guess if you wanted to, you could make that a condition that he's got to provide an as-built topography. You know, to satisfy, make sure that the neighbor is satisfied.
The other thing too is, it's all sand over there. It sucks up a lot of water before it even hits that. That ditch is usually always dry.
Yeah, but you put it in pipe.
No, but I'm saying the water, hardly any water flows through there at all. Only, when it thaws and stuff, I'm sure it thaws, but it's all sand. I mean, 8 foot of it, it's all sand. It sucks up a lot of water.
But it's sitting there right now.
Oh, I did that on purpose because I don't want the silt to go through the pipe. We're gonna start grading that as soon as possible. It looks like a bomb there, but it's not gonna look, it's gonna look pretty and stuff.
So the elevations you've provided on the plans is the final elevation you'll have.
Right.
It'll show where the water will go.
Within 6 inches or
Well,
so,
yeah, I know.
I mean,
Not gonna talk
I don't want
about-
to do any more
Talking about
filling
feet.
than I have to, put it that way.
Say again?
Basically, we don't want to do any more filling than I have to. Right now, we're just stockpiling that stuff done right now, and then after we get it squared away, we'll get the grades done. First thing I'll do is grade it to make sure that we get our swales and stuff sorted out and put our, stuff in right. That's how we do it, you know, to get
I
grades.
think that's the concern, is the fill. So if you're not putting any more fill in, and that's gonna be moved around
Right.
to the elevations you
I
have
need,
on your
we need,
plans.
we need probably, we're almost done filling, okay? I mean, we're almost done with the dirt I need. Because I don't want to do any more damage around there than I have to. Because I want to keep the character the same, you know what I'm saying, dude?
Yeah, yes, sir. Go
I
ahead.
had just one more question.
Sure.
Is he required to clean the road at any time? 'Cause I mean,
Yes.
it's almost turned into a dirt road
During-
at this point at some days.
During construction, yes.
He is required to clean the road.
Look at it swept.
Okay.
People who aren't supposed to be going there, going, well, they're hauling stuff down the across from you too, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all right there.
So it's all, you know,
I was just walking.
I know, it's okay, I mean, it's coming out of there too, you know, that's what I'm saying. But I will make sure, I have, Pike goes there every night and cleans the, you know, he scrapes it down, make sure that, we're gonna make,
So Jimmy, you just gotta keep the road clean. You just need to keep the road clean.
yes.
All right, thank you.
This guy over here bothers me all the time, he makes sure I do.
Any other questions? This time I'll make a motion to close the public hearing portion of the application. Do I have a second?
Second? Yes.
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 I also vote yes. Any further discussion? Anything to address the concerns of additional drainage to the neighboring property?
Good. So the other drainage? Yeah, just studying that storm drainage.
All right. As far as secret, I'll make a motion to declare the board lead agency and based on evidence and information presented at this meeting, determine the application to be an unlisted action with no significant environmental impact. Do I have a second?
Second.
Yes.
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 I also vote yes.
Was that for both applications or just?
For both applications. Paul, is there any remedy in the event that this doesn't flow according to the way we think it's going to, and it creates additional flooding, to go back and have something changed or corrected relative to drainage once it's built or approved?
The best way to do it would be to have his engineer certify that the topography is within, I don't know, 6 inches or 1 foot of the approved
Grading plan.
the approved site plan, okay?
Right.
That way, and then that condition, no CFOs should be issued until it's approved. That gives
So,
the neighbor some peace of mind, and it's something that's relatively enforceable as well.
You're talking about the grading towards the swale, right? Yeah, okay, that's fair.
So may I? Oh, sorry. For language on the condition, applicant's engineer shall provide a certification that the final topography is within 12 inches of the site plan designed to prevent additional flooding on neighboring properties. Is that enforceable?
No certificate of occupancy shall be issued until such time.
And no certificate of occupancy shall be issued until such time that the certification is received to the town's satisfaction. Sound good? All right. And I think these conditions would also go with both applications, correct? Same identical? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So the conditions for both applications, approval is subject to final approval of the town engineer and the Commissioner of Public Works. The town engineer and the Commissioner of Public Works must be given copies of any correspondence with other agencies. Copies of all easements associated with this project shall be provided to the Assistant Town Council for approval, and all filing information, i.e. library and page number, shall be noted on the Mylars. Prior to the issuance of a certificate of occupancy, all easements are to be filed and recorded with the Monroe County Clerk and filed, recorded, and acknowledged by the Town of Chi-Li Clerk. Applicant to comply with all pertinent Monroe County Development Review Committee comments. Applicant to comply with all required life safety conditions and permits of the Town Fire Marshal. Building permits shall not be issued prior to the applicant complying with all conditions, and the application is subject to all required permits, inspections, and code compliance regulations. And the applicant's engineer shall provide a certification that the final topography is within 12 inches of the site plan designed to prevent additional flooding on neighboring properties, and no certificate of an occupancy shall be issued until such time that the certification is received to the town's satisfaction. Any other conditions?
Put the word approved in there, the approved site plan. Within 12 inches of the approved site plan,
Oh, sure, yep.
please. Thank you.
Any other conditions?
Where do we capture the shared driveway agreement? Was that in the beginning? Just easement?
It's really just.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. With those conditions, the application of Marathon Engineering, Rafael Barreto, 39 Cascade Drive, Rochester, New York, 14614, applicant, Philomena Lipke Breja, 68 Golden Road, Rochester, New York, 14624, owner, for a preliminary site plan approval of 3 single-family home lots with a shared driveway, the property located at 68 Golden Road, R120 district. A second?
Second.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
I also vote yes. And with those same conditions, the application of Marathon Engineering, Rafael Barreto, 39 Cascade Drive, Rochester, New York, 14614. The applicant, Philomena Lipke Breja, 68 Golden Road, Rochester, New York, 14624, owner, for preliminary subdivision of 1 lot into 3 lots, the property located at 68 Golden Road in the R120 district. Do I have a second?
Second.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
I also vote yes. This is approved. Thank you. It is approved, yes.
I was gonna ask you, do I have to come back for final, or we're
I'm
just?
sorry. Was final,
I mean, as long as we meet all the conditions, work with the
Yes.
engineer, I don't think we'd have to come back.
no, sorry, I missed that it was paid for. So just amend that to say the application of Marathon Engineering, Rafael Barreto. Hang on one second. So we have the site plan one, okay. The application of Marathon Engineering, Rafael Barreto, 39 Cascade Drive, Rochester, New York, 14614. Applicant Philomena Lipke Breja, 68 Golden Road, Rochester, New York, the owner, for a preliminary site plan approval with the waiver of final of 3 single-family home lots with a shared driveway, the property located at 68 Golden Road in the R120 district.
Second?
Yes.
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 I also vote yes. Does the subdivision need final, Paula?
No, subdivision.
Subdivisions don't need final, correct? Okay. So yes, Jimmy, it is approved and final was waived. You're welcome. Need a motion to it. There was no last meeting. So it would have been the, no, September meeting. Standing right, Sandy? Meeting's adjourned.